Happy Wednesday, everybody. Time for another live commentary. This is a pretty special one. It's from the finals of the African Men's Foil Championship in Tunisia. It's going to be between Abouelkassem on the left and someone we haven't seen in a very long time, Mohamed Ferjani on the right. I think the only bout of his that I've covered before was him losing pretty comprehensively against James Andrew Davis at Rio. But let's see if he's going to get some revenge against a very strong opponent. Abouelkassem, of course, took silver at London. So, very strong, very tall, well, somewhat tall, I guess. There are people certainly taller than him. He's a lefty, though, and Ferjani had trouble against Davis in the, at Rio, and Davis is also a fairly tall lefty, so we'll see if he's going to do much the same stuff as before. And here we go. Anytime you're ready, Ferjani. Okay, I would still probably give the advantage to Abouelkassem. He's, it's kind of sad that I haven't covered more bouts of his. He's very good. Infighting, oh my god. Oh, falls off the strip. Not a great way to start out the bout. Well, I guess getting hit would be worse, but still. Raised strips can be a bit of a safety hazard. Ferjani hits with a long attack. Abouelkassem tried what looked like a twisty counterattack, but Ferjani had his number, so nice start for him. If he can keep this up, he might be able to make a miracle happen. Oh, parry post stepping forward there for Abouelkassem. There's not... I wish there were a way to say his name with fewer syllables, but his first name's about as long, so I'll just call him Abouelkassem. But Ferjani was stepping forward, not quite ready to finish, and Abouelkassem was safe stepping forward with his parry there. Normally a little bit risky if the distance is wider, excuse me. Pretty fast marching from Ferjani, though. Very easy. That's attack left off target, yeah. So, kind of fast and loose here from Ferjani after that first long attack worked. Finishes long, but Abouelkassem gets a stop hit stepping away. Stop hit is a very dangerous action in Abouelkassem's arsenal. He has the footwork speed to be able to get away in time. And that was a pretty fast attack from Ferjani, but he did start very fast. There wasn't much acceleration there, so that may be something to change for him. Gives his attack up. Keeps the distance very wide on defense. But as soon as it breaks... Yeah, as soon as the distance starts to collapse even a little bit, Abouelkassem just accelerates and finishes long. You can contrast that with what Ferjani just did earlier. Ferjani started fast and kept it fast, and that gave Abouelkassem the time he needed to stop it. The reverse is certainly not true, though. Ooh, kind of lucky there, actually, for Ferjani. Abouelkassem was trying to step forward with a parry, it looked like, or searching while stepping forward. That time it's one light for his opponent, though. Gotta start behind the on-guard lines, that's important. Ferjani throws that point in line, just to, I guess, stop Abouelkassem's attack, but can't really do anything immediately off of it. Again, very wide distance here on defense, unusually so. Tries to step in, hit behind the back, but again, no dice. It's interesting, Ferjani's, like, he's keeping it super wide and then trying to crush the distance at once, but he's starting from so far away that Abouelkassem can just accelerate into that moment really easily. He has plenty of space to do so. Again, fast march from Ferjani. His blade's not really in the right place to hit, though. Goes off target. I feel like he's got to slow things down at the start. He's just starting a bit fast. Before that let Abouelkassem get a stop hit. This time it's just mitigating his accuracy a bit. Hope he didn't injure himself too badly. Did he do something to an ankle? That's never fun. But the bout must go on. Let's see. Finishes long with the foreflick. Abouelkassem does parry, though. And again, pretty wide distance here for Ferjani. And again, you see that as soon as he steps forward, Abouelkassem just finishes, and the distance is perfect for him. This is, like, I don't know about this. Normally to deal with a marching attack, you have to either creep up on the distance or keep it close, keep the pressure on your opponent, make their marching as dangerous as possible for them. But the more space you give your opponent if they're marching, the easier it is when the distance does collapse to finish, like that. This time Ferjani escapes with the parry, and again, stop hit from Abouelkassem. Ferjani was nowhere close to thinking about finishing there. That is rough. Perhaps he's cramping? I don't know. But yeah, this is sort of a masterclass in Abouelkassem, how to march if your opponent lets you march. Ferjani isn't really doing too much to disrupt it. Again, starts too fast with his arm too far back, and easy counterattack there for Abouelkassem. Well, perhaps Ferjani is sort of tilted now at that point, because that attack was, like, That is never going to work against an opponent as good as Abouelkassem is. Maybe if your opponent is reeling, you can follow them out of the distance like that. You can look defenders like Lepeshu who do that sort of thing quite a lot. But they do that with foreknowledge of where their opponent is going to be. Abouelkassem was not on the way backward. He was looking for a counterattack there. So it really should come as no surprise that that occurred. But Ferjani has made a couple of actions work. One was a long attack right at the start. That probably just caught Abouelkassem by surprise, honestly. But he might be able to do that again. And the second one was kind of just walking the tip on at very close distance. Kind of got lucky because Abouelkassem stepped forward with a big search. So Abouelkassem has been going for that step forward with the search though. So if Ferjani can keep things nice and controlled on his attack and not rush like he did before, might be able to make some good things happen. Although it seems he might be injured here as well. I couldn't tell what was happening off the camera, but I assume it was something medical related. Or perhaps he was just switching equipment. But he's got to change something up fast, or this bout is going to get away from him very fast. It already sort of is. 6-2 in less than a minute 30 is a little worrisome. Alright, but that break will have given Ferjani a little bit of time to think. Maybe refocus himself. That's nice and slow to start, though. Finishes his attack out of distance. Abouelkassem easily escapes. Again, okay, it's a little slower, but why does he give up his attack, though? Every time Abouelkassem gets a chance to march, it's super dangerous. Oh my god. A noble attempt by Abouelkassem going for the back flick as Ferjani is jumping up into it. He nearly got it too, if you could see. His blade was right about there. I think the angle was a little bit too much for him to deal with though. Again, very wide distance on defense for Ferjani. Abouelkassem's attack does peter out occasionally though, and Ferjani can take it over. And again, that's stepping, like, he's starting from so far away that when the distance collapses like that, no matter what he does, he did a super displacing counterattack there, and Abouelkassem still found an off target. Just because the distance started so wide, he was able to finish easily, right? If the person marching has enough time to figure out what to do as the distance collapses, there's very little you can do on defense, especially if the distance is that wide. Probably beat attack right off target. Again, kind of bad luck there for Ferjani that he didn't turn a light on, or that he didn't turn a green light on. Okay, more marching from Ferjani. Distance is a little closer on defense this time, but again, still, that time the timing of Ferjani's counterattack was a little bit off. It seemed a little bit late to me. Abouelkassem was already accelerating forwards. But at the very least, Ferjani has managed to go for about a minute without letting Abouelkassem hit him, which is certainly an improvement. This time again finishes with that long foreflick as Abouelkassem again tries a twisty counterattack. That's the exact same situation that got Ferjani his first touch. The trick is, can he keep that situation happening? Abouelkassem's probably going to wise up to it before long, if he hasn't already. Abouelkassem being kind of opportunistic there with that attack. That was, for him, unusually quick to finish, and Ferjani may have been able to pair riposte if he, again, but only if he'd been keeping the distance closer, right? Ferjani, it seems, is staying too far away for his own good. And yeah, I'm not sure if he'll be able to translate most of these defensive actions into a touch if he keeps doing that. Although, to be fair, Abouelkassem has got a pretty scary attack, and I can understand why you'd want to stay away. That's pair riposte right off target. 2 sounds on the blade. First was left, second was right, and it's riposte off target. More marching from Abouelkassem. This time distance is a little closer, but again, Ferjani, I feel like he just doesn't have the footwork to keep up, honestly. He may be trying to use that wider distance as a crutch so that he doesn't have to move his feet as aggressively. He may be injured after all. And again, Abouelkassem just finishes nice and easy with a beat attack. And Ferjani was in really not a great place there. He could have maybe pulled distance a bit more, but I'm not sure if he's physically capable of it. Ooh, frame rate is awfully low. I hope that's a problem with my player and not with the video itself, because that's going to be rather annoying. That was attack left anyway, despite the low frame rate. That much is clear. Ferjani marches again, but gives it up. Ooh, that's interesting. Finishes with a withheld running attack. Just one cross step forward, honestly. Not much of a running attack. Goes off target, though. 5 seconds to spare. Ferjani keeping the pressure on. It'd be nice to score a touch right before the end, but no. Okay, pretty rough place here for Ferjani. Yeah, like I said, the main thing that stands out to me is he's keeping the distance so wide that Abouelkassem just has all the time in the world to decide what to do on his march. Ferjani's own attacks have felt pretty rushed across the board. He's gotten 2 nice ones with that foreflick that I discussed earlier. But for the most part, Ferjani rushes, Abouelkassem can get a counterattack, he can stop it, he can parry riposte. Looks like Abouelkassem's been stepping forward with the riposte, or stepping forward with the parry, sorry, and landing the riposte in close, which can work. It's not as common as stepping back with parry riposte, just for safety's sake. Although if Ferjani's rushing, there's a chance that Abouelkassem could break inside the distance safely anyway, so that's maybe not too huge of a deal. Main thing, though, is distance. Ferjani's got to fix it, Abouelkassem's got to keep it exactly where it is, and I think the bout will go very well for him if he manages that. Ferjani has to change something up, though. We'll see if his strip side coaching will be enough to jog him out of this rut that he's currently in. I feel like he's got to know what the problem is, though. It's so clear for me. I'm willing to bet that he either knows what's up and simply can't execute footwork as correctly as he wants to, or he's maybe a little bit stressed out. Let's attack right off target. There was a blade contact in there towards the end, but it's probably incidental. Again, more marching from Abouelkassem. Distance is a little close this time. So you saw that Ferjani made what looked like a half step forward, and that baited Abouelkassem into going for that withheld running attack. Ferjani couldn't make anything happen off of it, though. He had to just run away, and Abouelkassem finished off target. Ferjani misses. Abouelkassem counterattacks this time with a twist. Now, if Ferjani had gone for that foreflick he did before, he may have hit it. That was more of a vertical flicking sort of action, but he went wide. Again, pretty rough. Again, also seems like Ferjani is starting a little bit too fast. It is very hard to make yourself go slowly, though, in a situation this this intense. So that's beat attack right. Parry riposte. Oh, interesting. I thought the first one was Abouelkassem's parry. The second was another beat from Ferjani, but apparently it was the other way around. Good on the referee for spotting that. 10-3, though. Very rough situation for Ferjani. Again, long finish. Gets maybe attack, no attack, or maybe counter riposte. Couldn't really tell what the blades were doing. But that... Again, I feel like if Abouelkassem just takes note of that distance, he can shut that action down, though. Again, finishes right through Ferjani's parry, and his distance is just not there. Right? Standing still with it, you can step forward with your parry, you can step back with your parry, but standing still with the parry is not recommended, unless the distance is actually perfect for it. So... I'd hate to call it early, but it seems that there's not much more Ferjani can do at this point. More marching from Abouelkassem. Ferjani keeps the distance a little closer this time, but his attack feels... Yeah, I think that injury is... Oh, finds an off target, though. Abouelkassem tries another stop it. That time, I guess, Ferjani was forced to go slow, just by physical limitations, but as you can see, going slowly is really the trick for dealing with that action from Abouelkassem. At least starting very slowly. Ferjani was able to find an off-target there as he tried to run away. Again, Ferjani gives his attack up. Abouelkassem marches and accelerates into a beat attack, and again, Ferjani cannot escape it. So if you're Abouelkassem, all you got to do is just keep waiting for those moments. Get Ferjani to walk backwards and then accelerate at your leisure. Oh, Ferjani tries to mix things up by stepping in, trying to surprise Abouelkassem there. I think he got the blade and hit off target, though. Parry riposte to the back, nice and easy. Yeah, Ferjani's on his last legs. This is kind of sad to watch. I kind of wish I'd picked a closer bout for this live commentary. But this is the way of things sometimes. Ferjani can't finish, Abouelkassem steps away with a stop hit. And we'll see how he closes out this bout. Ferjani might get one more lucky touch, or not. Ferjani just barrels in backwards with a running attack. And yeah, a little bit disappointing for Ferjani. Of course, Abouelkassem is very much a world-class fencer. So perhaps the outcome is not as surprising as the sheer degree to which the outcome happened, I guess. 15-4, not a great place to be for Ferjani, but perhaps he was injured, and again, the real issue for him was the distance there. If he can control that distance better, he definitely would give Abouelkassem a lot more trouble. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Yeah, sorry for the delay on this one. I was busy graduating, so kind of important. Now that I'm free, Toldo vs. Trung will be out tomorrow, and I will try and get all the rest of the Rio bouts done, just bang them out one after the other this summer, and hopefully we'll be done by the 2-year anniversary of the Rio Olympics. We'll see. Anyway guys, take care, and as always, stay sharp.